something I've been thinking about lately: challenges, or better yet, opportunities for growth. I mean, you live long enough, you will encounter challenges or opportunities for growth in your daily life. And I can recall, some of my biggest challenges in life came at really pivotal moments when I look back on it in hindsight. One of which came when I moved to Atlanta to pursue undergraduate studies. And I happened to be working in a mall. At the time, it's called Avondale Mall. And I had left where I was working at a radio station as a DJ. I was supposed to work there as a DJ, but the gentleman who recruited me wanted to cut my salary in half. And I'll never forget what he said. What are you going to do now? You're in Atlanta. And in my mind, I immediately said, I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I promptly, that was Labor Day that year, I walked into the Avondale Mall. I walked into the finish line and speaking with the managers whose name I don't remember, it's been so long ago now, and told him my situation and told him I had good sales experience. He hired me on the spot. Even gave me an advance on my salary to buy the shoes, the pants, and the shirts that we would wear as salespeople there. I then walked over to K Jewelers, and a gentleman by the name of Ed walked in, had on a pair of brown campsides or dock shoes and a pair of shorts that were black and red and a yellow shirt. So I was not dressed appropriately to walk into a jewelry store to ask for a job. And I walk in and I proceed to tell him my story. He then said, I want to hire you, but I need to talk with my manager. So call me back tomorrow. So I did. I called him back the next day, and he said his manager, Steve, would like to meet with me. And so at that point, of course, I dressed appropriately and went back to the mall and introduced myself to Steve and said hello to Ed. And long story short, he hired me. That was the start for me of betting on myself, betting on no matter what happened, that I had the capacities resident within me to succeed. This would be tested not long after I began working, and the gentleman who recruited me to come to Atlanta to work in the radio station, I was briefly staying with he and his wife until I found a place. And when I ended up leaving the station, began working at the mall, he was not available to pick me up to go back home. So I ended up walking home in the rain one night, and I'll just share it. I was walking home to the place where we live in Stone Mountain from Avondale Mall. It's about 2 miles or so. And this particular night it began to rain. And I said to myself, crying of course, that I'll just go back to Milwaukee. And immediately upon saying that, I heard this inner voice say, why? There's nothing there. And in that moment, crying in the rain, walking in a suit, shoes sopping wet, I decided to bet on myself. As I've said before, over the last year, I've been doing a lot of soul searching, a lot of reading on leadership and ways to be better. And some of the texts that are informing my thinking are coming from Ryan Holiday. First of which is called The Obstacle is the Way. The second is Discipline is Destiny. Discipline is Destiny. The third is Ego is the Enemy. And his most recent book, Right Thing, Right Now. And I'm sharing this because I am now at a crossroads. I am now facing really the next level of life. And it really began once I finished my doctoral dissertation research and kind of undertook this study of wanting to share more ideas with people, things I learned along the way, and how best to really be of service. And so, as I undertook this year-long study and kind of culminating what I'd been studying over the last many years, this new opportunity has emerged. And as a result of this, always betting on myself, I'm embracing it. There's a level of uncertainty when you face these opportunities for growth. But even in the midst of uncertainty, there's a stillness, a calm. I can't quite explain it. You know it if you've had it, where you are on the precipice of doing something very different and you're unsure. You can't maybe be nervous or downright scared, yet you move forward anyway. And I can say that as I continue this journey of teaching and sharing ideas and information, there are going to be more such moments. And as I continue to study and learn and continue to open my mind, open my heart, I find new and deeper depths within me. And these deeper depths are helping me to carve out a deeper level of joy because I've known some sorrow. This goes back to something you read. If you've read it, if you haven't read it, I encourage you to do so. The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, page 29, the hardback, he talks about joy and sorrow and how that when you are carving and you have so much pain, that pain cuts and carves very deeply, yet because the pain cut and carved so deeply, you have just that much more space to contain and thus share joy. And as I continue this journey, the more I think about, again, writing this book, Elegant Transitions, which is my first book, thinking about my journey in terms of moving from Milwaukee to Atlanta, making the decision to leave Atlanta to resume graduate school in Iowa, then being recruited to come here to Cambridge to reconstitute Transcendental Meditation, and the multiple challenges of running a business. At each and every step, there's this knowingness that I'm going to be okay, that my family will be okay, but it's not without its challenges or opportunities for growth. And I just wanted to come on here and just say that bet on yourself. Really, when you are, doesn't seem to be that when you're in certain environments, people are, how shall I say, honoring who and what you are and what you bring to the table, recognizing your talents. Sometimes you have to leave to level up. And I'm grateful for the tradition that has given me a language to explain my own early experiences and the confidence to consistently move forward and bet on myself in terms of the innate capacities that I have that are really resident within everyone, and that my parents early on sought to really allow me to consistently focus on, to understand much more fully, and to bring to the fore much more easily. And so I said all this to say, and I know it may sound as if I'm rambling, but I do hope that there's a message in there for someone, because always bet on yourself and know that you have the innate capacities within you. Center yourself, which reminds me of a quote that I'll leave you with this. It comes from Benjamin Elijah Mays, past president of Morehouse College in Atlanta. He says, the circumference of life cannot be rightly drawn until the center is set. The circumference of life cannot be rightly drawn until the center is set. So to you I say, set your center and move forward, betting on yourself. Until next time.